Connor Meeser also asks, what is your favorite game? Already answered. Tim3LPs says, tell me about your time before 100 subs. Also, don't forget summer of last year. This is a good point, actually. One of my subscribers, Eggmaster, was my very first subscriber. I remember his name. He also gave me 2 games. I think he gave me Faster Than Light. He also gave me Orcs Must Die 2, I believe. But anyway, so he was my first subscriber, and Tim3LPs was one of my, maybe in my 60s range. Before I got 100 subs, we were really small. We weren't very important. I didn't play interesting games, and my commentary style was atrocious. Like, really, if you go back and look, it's really, really terrible. But I don't know, it wasn't really that big of a deal. We just didn't have that many subscribers. Things weren't that different. I did start off in the summer actually making videos, but then I didn't grow as quickly as I wanted, so I took a 5-month break, during which time Lewis of Mario Cat Gaming didn't take a break, and he like grew very, very quickly. And I really regret taking that 5-month break because, oh man, I could be so much larger now if I had like gone along with Lewis and like kept making videos and done this seriously, and like learned how to make thumbnails, which I still don't know how to do basically. I could be a lot larger, and I would also have more videos and more content. I should have done that, but I didn't do that, but it's okay because we ended up growing very well anyway, and I'm looking forward to see how much we continue growing in the future. How old are you? Cody Nix already answered. How high and how deep can your voice go? Joshua Perez. This is an interesting question. I didn't see this one. How high can my voice go?
I'm not really sure, but I think that something like this is as high as it can go.
Yeah, so that's probably about as high as my voice can go, and maybe something like this is... it doesn't sound right at all. Maybe so... no. It just sounds really strange to do something like this. My voice gets really like slow as well. I'm very bad at doing very low voices. However, some people have said before that I'm pretty good at doing impressions of people, like impressions of Gollum. I'm gonna move my mic a little bit when I do this because I don't know if this is gonna hurt your ears or not, but I'll try to do an impression of Gollum.
They stole our precious. Filthy, stinking hobbitses. Filthy, stinking hobbitses.
Yeah, so I'm a phonetician. I enjoy sounds. I enjoy language. So I don't know. Mimicking Gollum is pretty fun. Also, what else? Mimicking Stitch, maybe. What does he say?
Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. Yeah. This is my family. I found it all on my own. It is little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
Yeah, so fun times impersonating people. Neda. How old are you? Voice. What was your first video? Colin asked. Colin W01. My first video, I believe, was Limbo? I played Limbo with my girlfriend at the time, and we uploaded some videos of her playing Limbo and me helping her play Limbo, but the audio quality was terrible, so I ended up deleting them. Blue Lightning, how long have you been playing Minecraft? I played Minecraft maybe 1 or 2 times before my very first episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs. So, basically, you've watched me play Minecraft the entire time I've played Minecraft. You've been with me the entire time. Cersei's the Undead asks, this may seem like a dumb question, but how are you able to record off your PC? I use Fraps for my games, and I'm currently using a Logitech webcam to record this video, so Logitech webcam software also comes with a way to record video, but I had to change the settings to record with high definition and stuff like that. Do you have any advice for new YouTubers? From Ginger and 6 Guys. My first advice for new YouTubers, if you're trying to get people to watch you play video games, is you really need to not worry about stuff at the beginning. Like, don't worry about anything, really. Just start making your videos. Start making your videos. Make content daily, or maybe like 4 times a week at the minimum, I would say, because people want to see content. So 4 times a week is probably like the lowest I would be willing to go. And don't worry about your video quality. Don't worry about your audio quality. You can fix that. You can fix that later, and your later videos will be much better. Look at Minecraft Dinosaurs. I had all sorts of audio problems. Now they're fixed. But if I saw those audio problems and stopped making my videos, what would have happened? I wouldn't be able to be a YouTuber right now. If I had told myself I can't do this, if I had told myself I am unable to become a YouTuber because my equipment or my voice or something is so terrible, then I never would have become a YouTuber. And where would you guys be now? So, yes, I think that the very first thing I would say to people is don't worry about so much. Just record your stuff and upload it and learn as you go. When you get better, you can go back and delete things, you can edit things, you can fix things, you can do videos again, but just get started and do it. And if you get discouraged because you miss a day or miss 2 days or even miss a week, don't get discouraged. Just keep making your videos when you can, because I thought many times like, oh, I missed a video yesterday. If I make one now, like I'm going to feel bad. People are going to judge me. No, they don't. People understand that you have a real life, you have responsibilities, and people that you want to watch your videos are going to stick around and watch your videos anyway. All the other people who hate on you, they're not really that important. They're just jerks. Don't worry about them. Just do it, make your videos, put up your content, and please do it legally. Please get permission from publishers and developers, and try to avoid joining a network until you get at least 1,200,000 views a month. Because once you get 1,200,000 views a month, then you can contact networks and stuff, and they will negotiate and give you a better contract, as opposed to if you contact them when you have 100 subscribers, Machinima, other people, they're just going to take 40% of your YouTube revenue, and they're not going to give you crap, because they don't care about you because you're not making them enough money. They have no reason to negotiate with you. And after you sign the contract, there's no reason for them to make that contract better, because you're locked in for a year, possibly 2 years. It's terrible. So do things legally, get permission from the developers and the publishers to monetize your content, get a large user base of subscribers, get at least 1,200,000 views per month, and then start talking to networks and have them fight each other and give you better deals to give you higher cuts of your revenue and better CPM and stuff like that, until you can get into like the network that you dream of, I guess, your dream network. So that's what you should do. Ginger and Six Guys. Nicolicious asks me, Magnius, what is your preference in women? That's sort of a strange question. That's a pretty personal question. I'm not really sure exactly if I should answer it or not, but I did say that I would answer all the questions that I possibly could. So my preference in women, I don't have a particular preference, but since I live in Asia and I study East Asian languages and East Asian literature and East Asian culture, most of the women I end up dating and have dated in my life have been Asian or East Asian. Mostly East Asian. Mostly, at this point, because I've lived in Korea so long, mostly Japanese and Korean because I lived in Japan during university. I don't prefer Asian women. It's just that I'm surrounded by Asian women, and Caucasian women are not very abundant in Korea. So it's not sort of a preference, but just where do I live and what are most people. I prefer darker hair, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with blonde hair. I just don't particularly like see blonde hair and think like, oh, that's so beautiful. I tend to like darker hair. I wish that my hair were darker. By the way, my hair doesn't normally look like this. This is like my suit get up. My hair is usually much more messed up and more natural looking than this like sort of comb over like middle-aged businessman sort of thing. But anyway, there's that. In terms of height, I guess I don't prefer a certain height. I've dated all kinds of heights in my life, but most of the girls I've ended up dating have ended up being 5'4", which is really sort of strange that everyone ends up being that. Just so you guys know, what is that? That's somewhere around like 150 centimeters, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Somewhere around 150 centimeters, about 5'4". I am 5'10", 5'10.5", somewhere around 177, 178 centimeters for my personal height. So they like 5'4" is like a good height for hugging, I guess. In terms of weight and things like that, I couldn't care less. I don't dislike people who are overweight. I dislike people who are unhealthy. People who like jog and people who exercise, because I exercise. I've told you guys this before. I go to the gym at least 3 times a week, usually more. I think that being healthy and being fit is very important for living a healthy, active lifestyle. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. It's good for your personal relationships. If you're having trouble getting dates, whether you're a man or a woman, being in shape and being healthy is like definitely going to get people to be more interested in you, and it gives you something to talk about with people. So if people don't treat their bodies well, if people just eat like junk food and don't work out and stuff like that, I am more likely to dislike them based on that than if they're like slightly overweight or something. I don't really care about that. I care about health, not particularly how like wide people are, I guess you could say. Yeah, so that's about all I need to say about my taste in women, I guess. How old were you when you got your deep voice, and what motivated you to start YouTube? Riley Johnson. Riley Johnson, we've already talked about why I started YouTube, but when did I get my deep voice? I remember when I got my deep voice because I was in the 3rd grade, so I was about 8 years old when my voice started cracking. So I was about 7.5 or 8 when my voice started cracking. And that was very embarrassing in school because people would like hear it and they would laugh at you, because children are dumb and they don't realize that when you grow up, like all boys have cracking voices occasionally. So that was sort of an embarrassing time. But what ended up happening was that in 3rd grade, I was in chorus at my school. And because I was so young, the chorus teacher placed me with the girls to sing the girls' part. And when I was singing, it sounded terrible. And like the chorus teacher was like, no, everyone stop. And then asked me to like sing alone. And she realized that the reason it sounded terrible was because my voice was way too deep to be singing with the girls. So she placed me when I was in elementary school with the high school boys to sing. Yeah, I guess that's interesting that I sounded like a high school boy when I was in elementary school. But yes, my voice is probably one of the strange things about my life. I hit puberty rather early for a boy. I think usually girls are supposed to hit puberty first, but I beat a lot of girls at my school to puberty, so that was sort of an awkward time in my life. When did you decide to start YouTube? Joseph Morin Birch, already talked about it. Jenny Latham says, LOL, some questions people ask. Yes, Jenny, people ask some strange questions, but I'm more than willing to answer all of them. Did you think that you would be going to reach, did you think you would reach this many subs, and what made you start YouTube in the first place? Connor Meeser again. Connor, hello again. I did not think I would reach this many subs. I thought that I would just be another, YouTube nobody. People come, they see one of my videos, they're like, this guy sucks, and then they leave, and then they never see me again, and I never go above like 200 subs. But that is not what's going on, and I'm very happy about that. Jody Lawrence. Jody, I remember you, of course. Jody has made several videos with my face in the texture pack, which is very creepy, but I love him for it. Jody asks, my main question is, what is your theological position? I guess that's the best way to describe it. What do you believe, if anything? I am agnostic, with an I, yes, non-cognitivist. I ask because anyone with such profound interests in space, dinosaurs, and language can only have one interesting answer. We're going to answer this first, and then why South Korea? We already answered why South Korea. Are you watching my Dino series? No, Jody, I'm not watching your Dino series. I'm sorry. I'm really busy with real life and my own YouTube stuff. I'm mea culpa. I'm sorry. And how many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon? A lot. A lot. Sugar is pretty energy dense, but it's not as energy dense as hydrogen and oxygen that's used as rocket fuel combining, and yeah, it's not that energy dense, so I don't want to think about how many cups of sugar it would take to get to the moon. A lot more than one Saturn V rocket fuel. I'll tell you that. A lot more than one Saturn V made completely out of sugar. My theological position. I knew that someone would ask this question. My theological position, my belief system is that I personally do not know if there is an omnipotent being or not. And as a science-based person with interest in science and evidence and things like that, my default position on such beliefs is to not believe things until evidence is shown, or I personally have some sort of evidence, which currently I do not have any evidence to supply to other people to provide any sort of reason to believe in an omnipotent being. This isn't to say that I think that there isn't an omnipotent being, which I guess people could call me an agnostic, but I'm not exactly like an agnostic in the way that most people use the word. I consider myself an agnostic atheist because I don't believe in higher powers because I don't have any evidence. However, if an omnipotent being, whether they be like a god or an alien or whatever, came to me and was like, yo dude, I can totally do lots of crap, watch me make a solar system, bang, I would be like, not only are you totally awesome, but because you're so into science and like showing me stuff, I will totally worship you. Religion is sort of a really complicated topic to discuss on YouTube because, you know, there are many different people on YouTube who have various different belief things, and I'm sure that some people feel very, very strongly and may, you know, get into arguments over religion and stuff like that. As you guys know, that I play Minecraft Dinosaurs. Minecraft Dinosaurs is a series where we talk about evolution a lot. That has caused some people to ask things on my Minecraft Dinosaur videos like, do you believe evolution? I don't believe evolution, I understand evolution, because regardless of whether there is an omnipotent being or there isn't an omnipotent being, evolution is a thing that happens. It's a very, very verifiable natural phenomenon that we have plenty of evidence for. We have not only evolutionary data on things that we can view in our lifetime, such as microorganisms, but we have the fossil record for things that are millions of years long that we can't view in a single lifetime. We have all sorts of wonderful evidence in genetics. Genetics has opened up like an entirely new realm of evidence to show how various species are interrelated. When species separated from one another, such as how we separated from chimps somewhere about like 6 to 7 million years ago. Yeah, there's so much evidence for evolution, it's not even funny. People who say that evolution is quote-unquote just a theory don't seem to understand what the word theory means in science. A theory is like the theory of gravity, the germ theory. A theory is a very, very well-established thing in science. What they're thinking is how normal, common lay people, non-science people use the word theory, which means hypothesis. So anyway, the fact that we talk about evolution a lot, which is true, by the way, in my Minecraft Dinosaur series, tends to make people question my theological position, my theological belief system, whether I believe in an omnipotent power or not. And my answer to that is that regardless of how you feel about omnipotent beings existing or not, evolution happens, and if you believe that there's an omnipotent power, omnipotent being, that's totally cool with me. You can believe whatever you want and you can worship whatever you want. That's like a founding belief of there's small children yelling outside, a founding belief of the country that I was born and raised in. I completely support anyone's right to believe and worship whatever they want. But when it comes to trying to legislate beliefs, like a lot of very religious people don't believe that evolution happens, they try to legislate that into public schools and change science classes to try to reflect their belief system rather than reality. That's where we get a little bit of problems, and I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that just in the same way as I would be uncomfortable with anyone from any religion trying to change anything in a classroom about science. I think that science is very capable of deciding what is real and what is fake based on evidence and not on faith. And I think that faith has a place in everyone's life, however you wish to view it and take part in it yourself. But I think that making laws to force other people to believe the same way as you or to act the same way as you, for the most part, are not really okay based on religion. So that's another reason I left the US, because lots of people try to do that in the US, and I'm not really cool with that. But yeah, I think that a lot of people in the world could really benefit from thinking of religion the way that Jody, you do, saying theological position, and sort of taking all of the really strong feelings out. of it, because a lot of people fight over things like religion, and a lot of wars happen because of religion. And I think that that's really sort of depressing, because I can meet anyone with any sort of belief system, and even if I don't agree with them, I don't want to fight them. I want to give them a hug and be like, we live in an amazing world where we have the freedom to believe whatever we want. So, you're an awesome person. That's what I want to think. But a lot of people, they get really, really upset, and they fight, and they defund science, and we do wars instead of doing science, and our entire species is slowed down by such things. I think that technological progress would be much faster if we would all work together instead of fighting, but that's just me. Moving on to the next question.